Silent of goal! Lane Widow's doing it! They're gonna take! He's gonna bring down Birdie! Alone with a double kill! Dropping fast! Monopoint's there! He's still alive! Wait, second slide! He's got one side! He's got a second! He's taking it! Oh my god! On three! They're all dead!
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We've got our second best of three of the evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. First Departure versus Invasion. This is a big one. Winner will be going on to the grand finals. So someone here is guaranteed a chance for that final battle to get to the summit too. And loser goes down to the loser's bracket to fight Team Malaysia.
Yeah. Well, either way, one of them, either way, you probably have to fight Team Malaysia if they're going to keep playing as well as they did today.
That's a good point, yeah.
It's take the easy road. You want to win this best of three and get yourself in the grand finals and hopefully try and then have a best of five up against Malaysia or a rematch against.
And for us, do you get a one-game advantage in the finals
not
or
for
no?
FCA, no?
Okay, so just that
not for any of the
that relaxed time, yeah. No one-game advantage. We're
you
not
don't
about
have to
that
play
life.
the loser bracket final. That's the advantage.
That's the
I think there's some other ones like you get to choose
you win
pick
the
and
toss
side,
automatically.
you win the coin toss.
So that's cute. That's nice, but
you also don't have to play two matches. And I think that's actually probably the biggest advantage you get because both the lower bracket final and the grand final are the same day. So
yeah,
you'd
that
have to
actually
play
is kind of a big deal.
up to 8 games if you're playing the low bracket final because it's a best of 3 and a best of 5.
Wow.
So that could be rough.
That's intense. Let's look at this draft, though. It's going by pretty quickly, and this matchup, this is an even one. This is close to a coin flip. I think the bets are like 55-45, something like that. So stands to reason we might be in for a pretty good series here. Invasion, they get things started with Shadow Demon Marana. First pick did go the way of the Dire, I believe. Yeah, first departure won the toss, so they took first pick, and Invasion, they chose Radiant.
Remaining.
Wow. Abaddon, Shadow Demon picks, like what is
5
this?
seconds remaining.
Where are these picks coming from?
Totally different. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, the Abaddon's
Reserve
definitely
time.
a counter pick against the Shadow Demon Marana. Shield great against those 5-second arrows, but straight up picking a Shadow Demon first that's
Dire
ballsy.
team pick.
Yeah, Shadow Demon Marana is still a good combo. The problem is really just that Shadow Demon is lackluster compared to someone like a Skywrath Mage and zoning capabilities. I mean, Skywrath, I think, is just all around a little better than Shadow Demon, you know? Just has a little more utility, a little more damage, just all around a stronger support. But here, they really wanted this combo. I think you can draft something like a Skywrath, Marana opener, and then the chances of Shadow Demon banned out are
10
slim to none.
seconds
Save him for a
remaining.
third, fourth pick, but I don't know. Maybe they've got something special in
I
mind
mean,
here.
the
Seconds
Skywrath Marana is
remaining.
not like the strongest support duo. Like, they don't synergize too well. They're kind of just, they're separate
Reserve
supports.
time.
Skywrath can zone the offlane, and Marana can shoot arrows at the mid lane and do his thing there. So, with the Shadow Demon, you have a more guaranteed setup. They can actually dual roam, whereas Skywrath Marana, it's not exactly a good dual roam combo. Like, you don't have that good initiational setup for the Marana. But like you said, they could have picked up the Marana with a +1, like Marana Razor opening. For all they know, First Departure would have banned out this Razor.
Yeah, even Razor making it this far is, I don't know, kind of a backwards draft. But I don't know. Which team do you favor here, though? If you had to pick one, if you were a betting man.
I would say Invasion. I think they're a little more consistent. Like, sure, First Departure coming off a big win yesterday, but I think Invasion have shown that over the last few months they've been really solid.
And I think yesterday was a mixture of Team Malaysia
Radiant
not
team
playing
pick.
quite up to snuff. We've talked about it a lot. KYXY on support. It was a little funky, out of their comfort zone.
And guess what? Miracle's not getting Naga today.
Yeah, well, and that's the other thing. Like, I would sum it up as I think Invasion are more solid as a team, but I think Miracle is probably the highest individual skilled player of the 10 in this pool. And we see so many games where it seems like First Departure are behind. How are they ever going to bring this back? And
10
you know,
seconds
40 minutes
remaining.
later, there you go. They're knocking down T3 towers.
Yep.
So
5
who's Miracle
seconds
going to
remaining.
play in this first game is a question that comes to mind. FD get Ancient Apparition for their second support, so great with the Faceless
Reserve
Void,
time.
but not too scary of a draft yet. There's the
Dire
Centaur for
team
Invasion.
pick.
So
Often it's been the safe lane Centaur too, so...
yeah, we've seen that a lot over the past 2 days in particular. All these BO3s, there's been a lot of like just Centaur 8-minute blink action.
And I don't think it'll be too different here. I don't think you... he actually does okay offlane this game because the Abaddon AA, not the best zoning supports with a Void. AA obviously a strong zoning support in his own right, but he doesn't have any help coming from an
10
Abaddon. No help really coming.
remaining.
Void can maybe pose some threat with a Time Walk, but it's quite small.
5
so
seconds
it's not a
remaining.
bad game for an offlane Centaur. It's just not really been what we've been seeing.
Well, here's a
Radiant
hero
team
that we
ban.
saw yesterday to little avail. I'm going to guess this won't be the mid laner for first departure, but
Yeah.
Weaver, Ancient Apparition, you got to talk about that combo. It's pretty good. And even Weaver, Abaddon, if they're in the if this is like a tri-lane with those 3 heroes, that's pretty good. Chilling touch him, then
10
throw in a Photic
seconds
Shield. That
remaining.
Weaver's diving towers, picking up kills, and it can actually be pretty potent.
5
think it's-
seconds remaining.
It's an alright pick. There's definitely a lot of synergy with the FD draft. It's just rough against Mirana,
Reserve
Arrow,
time.
Centaur with Blink Stun Initiation. So
Yeah.
not an easy game to be the Weaver player.
No, I would say not. Yeah, they are lacking a very distinct amount of control. You've got your Chronosphere, but Abaddon, not
Yeah.
much. Cold, like what's
Think-
going to proc the Cold Feet here? You know, they're lacking some just general control.
Bring back the Legion Commander, solo mid.
Yeah.
They need a hero kind of along those lines where it gives them another lockdown spell, gives them some good, just solid team fight that they can build a fight around. Because right now, you can't just build your fight only around the Chronosphere. There's not enough follow-up damage with only an Ice Blast. Like, you need something else, like just to make this a well-rounded line. Like, First Departure
Yeah.
have a lot of gaps right now. But
Yeah, and Weaver's like okay with the
10
Chrono.
seconds
He's a ranged
remaining.
hero, so he can do some damage coming in. But you know, it's not like an Invoker or someone else that has some serious wombo.
Dire
Man.
team
Meepo.
ban.
that would have been a good pick in some ways.
Yeah,
It's a miracle style hero.
It definitely so. And one though that doesn't synergize particularly well with the Void, and sort of gives them some control. You get your Earthbinds coming
Radiant
out, but
team pick.
I don't know. I feel like if that was the case, Invasion could just grab an Earthshaker here, put that Mirana on a core, and
Yeah.
that could be pretty scary. That's a lot of damage. But Medusa, the final ban for First Departure, and there's the Invoker.
Dire
There's your
team
Ketchik hero, and
Yeah.
we've seen him on this hero quite a bit. It is scary.
I wonder if Invasion consider going offensive tri-lane. Shadow Demon, Mirana, Razor. You are up against the Shield, and the AA Weaver is a pretty strong duo, as you mentioned. So maybe not. I feel like at worst they maybe just break even. At best they can find kills and win the lane.
Yeah.
Especially level 1, they're a lot stronger.
They're both scary tri-lanes, I think.
Yeah.
So that
10 seconds
the arrow is
remaining.
really what throws a wrench in the mix. If you're landing 4 or 5 second arrows off those
5
disruptions, then
seconds
I
remaining.
think you've got a little advantage there. But hey, it'll be the LC once more. Miracle on the mid.
It's a good pick here, I think, in general. It's pretty safe, like, as far as getting his early game farm. We saw, like, you go for the fast bottle, just spam your nuke, and you're set. It's how you played in the mid to late game that really can set you apart.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what we saw the other day, where it seemed like LC was on the slow roll and got a blink dagger, and after that it was just duel after duel after duel, and by the end of the game you've got this LC plus 200 damage. And the nice thing
Prepare
about
for
getting all those
battle.
successful duels in the mid game is then that opens you up to just go straight tank, go blink into beefy items. You know, that was that a game-winning heart game?
Yeah,
one
that
of
was-
many that we saw.
That and the Doom one, I
Mhm.
think.
So if it works out well, then, well, it's sort of a silly statement, but if you get a lot of that dual damage, it can really work wonders for the LC.
The pregame
No.
taunts come out. It's in the bag, apparently, says Miracle.
In the bag. Ouch. ADTR. Getting slapped around a little bit. So Dire side will have First Departure, and actually I want to refresh my bets here just to see where people actually are standing. Who is the official favorite coming in here? It is First Departure, 56% right now, 44 for Invasion. So our favorites, Miracle will take the LC probably to the mid lane.
30
Aluka will
seconds
take
to
the
battle.
Abaddon. Paulison on the Weaver, and Lubby on the Ancient Apparition. That's most likely to be your tri-lane, and Hana, he'll take the Faceless Void. I would reckon to the offlane. Grabs that Stout Shield first, and plenty of regen.
Yeah, he's been playing offlane for the team. On the Radiant side, we have got Invasion from Malaysia. Safe lane will be Ghost on the Centaur. Middle lane will be Kachikimba on the Invoker, and it will be an offensive tri-lane, perhaps, as ADTR will be on the Mirana, OK on the Shadow Demon, FZFZ on the Razor. Camping out this top
battle
rune, and
begins.
Weaver puts a ward down and a Shikuchi on down. There is a disruption. Can they find him?
Maybe
No,
they
sir.
can, actually. Arrow flies through. It'll connect. It's a 3-second stun. He'll have a Shikuchi up in just a couple of seconds here, but hey, they're prepared. They've got a Sentry Ward. Beautiful disruption to buy some time. Not much time left on Shikuchi. First blood comes out. FCFC. They'll come out victorious, and they also get an observer ward out of it. Oh my Lanta.
That was just like good execution. Like Weaver got out of range of disruption. Marana knew immediately, didn't even think about waiting for a disruption. Knew that the disruption wasn't in range. Threw the arrow, confidently hits it, and then Shadow Demon waits for the Shikuchi before using that disruption. That was just perfect.
Really well done. And a great start for Invasion. So now they get vision control of the top rune, and uh-oh for the Dire. Their other observer blocks this medium camp, but won't give him vision of that bottom rune.
And that's a very useless ward because they put that there for a defensive Trallon who's using pulls to prevent the double pull, and guess what? It's just a safe lane Centaur, so...
Actually, does this give you vision of the rune? There's a little bit creeping through here.
Actually, yeah, it looks like
that might actually give you vision.
That's
okay.
interesting to know.
That's a cute little spot. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. As you mentioned, the safe lane Centaur from Ghost. Yeah, not going to be the most useful of
It
wards,
gives you vision of the room, but it gives you like no actual vision of anything
Yeah.
of importance, though. Apart, I mean, anything else of importance.
Yeah. So up top, Razor should be able to farm okay. ADTR takes the Marana. OK's on the Shadow Demon, and yeah, we saw that FCFC Razor. How well is this aggressive tri-lane actually going to work out? Sure, they got a first blood. That's nice. Weaver, only 3 and 2, so I guess their efforts up here have been at least reasonably successful. They'll get another sentry down right in the middle of the lane, make things a bit more difficult for the Scarab.
Yeah, ATR has to be careful. He's taking a lot of harass here. He's been pulled a Tango hero there, but it's got the long 50-second cooldown to use another one.
Yeah, that support Marana not really rolling in the dough right now, but they'll get a double stack on the hard camp here and just pull the wave into it. And now the battle for damage on the neutrals begins, and we'll see how Invasion can do with these last hits. 2-minute rune comes out. It'll be a bounty picked up by AA. Arrow flies through. Will connect on Lovey. Will there be enough follow-up damage for a kill? Sunstrike will connect. Now ADTR will try to finish him off. Gets to the high ground. One more auto attack. He'll find it, and it'll be a dead Ancient Apparition. Great setup from Invasion. And this bottom on the mark with these arrows today.
Yeah, who needs to set up? Like, you don't pick the Shadow Marana for the disruption arrow, apparently. ADTR just shoots the arrows and finds them. So, really, really nice Marana play so far. And now Poise mid lane looking for Miracle, perhaps.
Yeah.
Should have a pretty good idea that he is nearby, and he's going for it on the creep.
Oh, close call. Takes the high ground and just whizzes by Miracle. We'll trim the whiskers there of the LC as up top. Set up right onto the Abaddon. FCFC in the front lines. We'll steal a little bit of damage here. Only level 1 static link, so damage minimal, but still enough for a kill on the Abaddon. Wow, normally a tanky hero, but only level 2. Just nothing he can do.
Always the target you want to go on. It's like the Wisp +1. You go in that medic because he can't actually... the Miscoil is useless. He's not using that to heal himself. All he's got is the shield, and level 1 shield not exactly blocking too much damage there.
Yeah, only 110, so... Great stuff. Invasion 3-0 out of the gate. Only 3 minutes in. Marana still stationed around this mid lane. And that's the great thing about this aggro tri-lane, if that's what you want to call it. They're doing so well that Marana doesn't even have to stay in the lane. She can focus her efforts elsewhere. And if she hits an arrow onto Miracle, this will be a pretty easy kill in the mid lane. Arrow comes in. Oh, Miracle, he's in big trouble. Splits the damage on the Sunstrike, but just doesn't matter. ADTR comes in, clicks him down. Easy kill in the mid lane.
Yeah, and FCFC brings his Ring of Aquila towards his top lane. He's looking really good here. There's a Sentry Ward. Oh, no, it's a Dire Sentry Ward. I thought he was going to get that kill. Luckily, Pelosin also stayed really close to the Plasma field. That
change actually helping him out there. That was one of the more recent changes. The floor on Plasma Field now not a lot lower across the levels.
Yeah.
But still, everything just working out well for Invasion, it seems. The one thing going really well for the Dire is this offlane Void. Hana's actually the last hit leader right now. 23 up on him, so Void doing well.
I'd give him a slight edge over the Centaur. He can go for, especially when he goes for these like cheeky little early game items, like picks up the Orb of Venom. I think he's actually had the AA supporting him down here for a little bit now, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Lubby did a bit kind of abandon this top lane.
Yeah. I think it's an alright idea. They're going to play Hannah more as their carry now, although it may not have been the initial plan. Looking for a cold feet at bottom lane, but no bash luck.
Yeah, I can't get there. A little unlucky, I suppose. 2 points, the 2-1-2, the balanced Void build. Sort of that we've seen in tandem with the 1-1-4. Both of them have been on the rise. Giving less love to that backtrack these days, gods.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the skill least important level.
Yeah, value point is where it's at, but whoa, up top, hey, Abaddon, he'll get picked off once more. Paulson, he might go down also. FCFC with a double kill, steals 112 damage and just cleans it up. Oh my god.
I don't know what happened mid, but Arrow, no Sunstrike, just Arrow it looks like, and Miracle also goes down.
Wow. What we thought was going to be the
Dyer's
coin
under
flip
attack.
50-50 series could end up being a quick one if Invasion keep this up. This is surprisingly one-sided. 7-0, 2,500 gold, 2,000 experience. Invasion with so much momentum here.
Yeah, FC picks up his early phase boots, and now his killing potential also skyrockets, and this is just so rough for first departure.
Yeah.
And it's not like Invasion have like this all-in early game lamp. Sure, the Shadow Demon Mirana is really strong early game, but Razor, Invoker, Centaur, this lamp scales well into the mid to late game. Their team fight in the mid game is, I would say, scarier than first departures.
Yeah, and I mean, I think once Centaur gets a blink, that's when things get really scary. His farm is just okay. 16 last hits, getting wrecked pretty hard by the Void AA, but at least he's getting some decent experience. Will be level 6 in a timely manner, just a few creeps off. Bounty Rune goes the way of Invoker. Mirana is the one that picks up the
Radiant's
invisibility
middle
rune.
tower
So
is
rune
under
control
attack.
for Invasion, but there's a 4-hero rotation towards the mid.
To the Invis rune. They're like, okay, Hannah's left bottom lane with a Chronosphere looking to get a kill on like an Invoker or even top lane. Mirana just saw everything. Is in range of this Sentry Ward mid, but yeah, they're pinging it out, but it doesn't really matter.
Well, they go on to Ketchuk. Arrow comes in. It will be sidestepped by Hana. It looks like they will get the kill on the Invoker. Stampede comes out, but Miracle gets the duel off, gets some bonus damage, and does secure the kill.
That, I think maybe he was just thinking that Mirana could be Arrow, but there's no way you can hit that Arrow when Void knows it's coming. If he's caught by surprise, maybe it lands, but that extra movement speed, he was ready.
Makes it pretty easy to react. So nice gank for first departure, their first kill of the game.
Yep.
Takes 4 heroes, so it doesn't
Radiant's
come
middle
for free.
tower is under
FCFC
attack.
still putting on some hurt up in the top lane. I mean, just look at Paulison's inventory right now on this Weaver. He's got 19 last hits, but he just has nothing to show for it. Bottle,
Dyer's top
Ring of
tower
Protection,
is
not
under
even a
attack.
Basilius.
Got a little bit of gold, but I think he just needs like some treads for the HP almost more
Yeah.
than anything.
Not going to be able to rush a straight Lincolns this game. Racer's also just good against the Weaver because you can static Lincoln while
Bottom
he's...
lane, Arrow hits,
Oh,
and Hana. Luckily for him, Ghost isn't right clicking right now, but there's a time walk out, leap after. They want this kill. 1 or 2 more right clicks. Sunstrike. Woohoo!
yep, it'll get him.
Bullseye.
Nice gank down bottom, now up top, going on to Paulson, and here he goes. Static Link won't actually steal any damage. They have a Sentry Ward down, but Paulson goes the other way. Will time lapse, but hey, it doesn't matter. Shadow Demon gets the kill. That was kind of awkward.
It looked like he got time lapse off, but
But
didn't kill him.
Yeah, he started moving, and there's like a little cast point there.
It's like he died
It took the
simultaneously.
cooldown, so I guess
I think-
fortunate for the Weaver.
I think it may have not have healed him, unfortunately. But
Yeah.
that was a weird situation.
Bit awkward. Still 9-1. More kills coming out for Invasion
prize is
around the
mine.
map. And Ketchuk, he's having a pretty good time. Will go for the Hand of Midas. Looks like the recipe's being flown out right now. Yep, there she is. So an 8-minute Midas on this Invoker mid. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
These
For the mid Invoker, that's solid.
yeah, that Sunstrike kill really helping him out there.
Miracle's just got his treads up. Miracle's farming all right. He's doing well enough. The 2 deaths hurt him a little bit. Denied. Not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Oh, the Sentry Ward mid battle is won by
is
first
ours.
departure. Both teams had an Observer Ward on the ramp and then a Sentry in the middle lane, and first departure managed to de-ward both.
Yep, and their Observer is still standing, so a little unfortunate for the Mirana. But yeah, Miracle on this LC, he can certainly recover, like you talked about. Probably the ideal target for FD in terms of taking some of those early spills. If it has to be someone, LC is manageable, as long as he gets some of those dual victories in return. So that first rotation kind of helping make up for that lost footing. Ancient Apparition getting some solo XP down bottom. Lubby looking for his level 6, halfway through 5, so we'll be there fairly soon. The Abaddon, though, severely under-leveled. Only 3.
I think Hannah's going to make a move soon. He's currently jungling on the Void, but I think that's just to say hidden on the map and lull Invasion. Well, initially they see him missing, they're like, oh crap, we're scared. And then after enough time goes by, it's like, okay, he doesn't seem to be ganking, but he may go for a smoke gank soon and look for another chrono kill.
Yeah. Paulson now completes his magic wand, upgrades to the Basilius. So, getting a couple of stats, but still this Weaver is very squishy and pretty damn susceptible if he gets clipped by pretty much any
Radiant's
stun.
bottom tower
FC's the big
is
kill
under
they'd love
attack.
to get. Time walks on the high ground. FC gets the ulti off.
And we'll
Disruption.
yeah.
It's going to be fine.
Now Sunstrike flies through, does a bit of damage. They just bring down the Void straight away. Now the rest of First Departure on the run. ADTR leaps forward. Still 10 seconds on the arrow. They'd love to find a kill on either of these cores, and FCFC will chase the Weaver. Gets hit by the Shikuchi, and now the Weaver gets healed up by a passerby. That's the Abaddon with level 2 Miscoil. So they will back out, and now OK could find himself in a little bit of trouble. Has a disruption. How will he use it, though, is the question. Maybe forced into using it defensively. Arrow flies through, will miss. Now the duel from Miracle comes out. Invasion may actually win here. No, Weaver comes in, will secure the kill. A little bit of extra damage on the LC. Now in the lane, another fight's breaking out is Void. He's back in the battle, baby. He wants the Mirana. Can't find it, but Centaur, he's got a blink, shows it off, finds the kill on Weaver. Razor brings down the Abaddon. Now Aluka on the run. Miracle turns, finds the kill on Mirana. Nicely done, ends a killing spree. But Double Edge is more than enough to find another kill on the Abaddon, and it will be Invasion that come out ahead.
That Centaur blink just came from nowhere. I wasn't ready for it. First departure, wasn't ready for it. Suddenly there's just a Centaur in the fight hitting a 2-hero hoof stomp. And, well, guess what? Ketchik doesn't even show up. He takes a T1 mid tower as well. Big victory for Invasion once more, although they do lose a kill or two, like the Mirana killing spree, but
yeah,
that's not the end of the world.
2 for 3, but with the tower mid, that really makes it favorable for them. And Ketchik, he was still able to contribute throughout a Sunstrike, so added a little bit of damage in there, and he's soon to be level 11. At that level chart, man, he's just racking up the XP with that Midas.
It's one of the things where the Exo Invoker isn't as popular anymore, because all you can really do is throw a Sunstrike. Even if you TP up there, it's like, oh, maybe offer your Forged Spirits, but they can't really chase. You have a Cold Snap. You haven't really got any big spells to use anymore, especially with the big nerfs to Cold Snap. So, Extra Invoker definitely not as popular, especially for the mid lane, but it still has its place situationally.
Yeah. So Miracle still getting a bit of extra damage there, now up to plus 20. Getting a little stronger, 200 gold away from that blink, and that tends to be when First Departure will really turn up the aggression. FCFZ is the big winner, though, this time around, Gods. 5-0-4 in only 12 minutes of gameplay. Has the Met completed already on Phase Boots and Aquila. Looks like he'll be able to get an easy tower kill here in the top lane, so stuff looking good for this Yellow Razor.
Yeah, him and Invoker, top of the net worth chart then. In Moonlight Shadow, I think they did that at an okay time. They were very close to maybe still being Envisioned there, but it's bottom lane that's helping out. Initiation with a Sunstrike Hoof Stomp. I was about to say, what's this Moonlight Shadow for? And then Ghost just goes in and...
Yeah, I thought they were going to go on the Void up top, but it's the Centaur, so missed that one, folks.
Centaur can
but
solo kill... Yeah, basically solo kills the Weaver with the help of the Sunstrike.
This Weaver is just still so squishy. He has a Circlet and a Magic Wand. That's his source of stats right now, so... Yeah, not even a chance to time-lapse that.
I don't know. Buy that Belt of Giant Strength ASAP. Even if you're not upgrading it to Treads, just get some HP.
Yeah, exactly. ADTR does grab a bounty. Miracle will get off a duel, and Ice Blast comes in, makes it an easy kill. So, plus 30 damage at 13 minutes.
Not ready for the blink on that Miracle there, but now they know. And now Mirana will maybe be a bit more careful about roaming around on her own.
Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Invasion pressing into the tier 1. Of course, there's a glyph on the Dire, but FZFC happy to throw out all this lightning. Mech at the ready, and OK, just moving around the tree line here. Radiant will take the Ward Vision on the high ground. Great spot if you're on the Radiant side. Even a Sentry Ward comes down, will be in vision of the high ground and also to deal with this Weaver. Comes Centaur, and oh my god. Literally, you blink and you miss it. I mean, that's just not fair.
And they're going to probably defend top as well off of this. Top tier 1 tower is still full HP for Invasion. They can take this, TP up Razor as well as Centaur. Razor's in 5 seconds, but that's more than enough time. Unless they're going to get a T2 tower, which they can't push that fast. I think, yeah, they're defending. Centaur's already TP to the tier 2, Razor's going to TP to this tier 1.
And Centaur's ready to rock and roll. Yeah. Hana needs to be careful here. Fast fingers, he misses the hoof stomp. All right. Unfortunate. Now the Chrono comes out from the Void. Follow up from AA. Arrow comes in, will not connect. Centaur will shatter. And now Hana's on the run. But FCFC, he's in. He's hungry for vengeance. They'll find Lubby. Void will just TP out. Ancient Apparition does get left behind. Miracle TP's out as well.
Arrow actually hits. It was the immediate heal, press the attack from Legion Commander, got rid of it. So
that's what it looked like. It hit, but I saw he was still swinging. So good call.
They've got the double repel from Abaddon Shield as well as the press the attack to get rid of these stuns. It's kind of, I mean, it's a bit overkill. You don't need both, but they obviously picked Legion Commander for other reasons.
Yeah. As just an aside, press your attack. You know that can cleanse Lasso.
Yes.
Pretty ridiculous. Yeah. It's hard to get in position to do it, but it's just one of those spells that I didn't realize it till I saw it one time.
It's got a longer cast range than a Photic Shield by quite a big amount. So
It's a pretty good cleanse, one that you shouldn't underestimate, and just one of those little nuggets to remember when you're looking at a draft. Like, all right, LC versus Bat Rider is actually pretty good for the LC.
It's actually just a much better version of Aphotic Shield, this spell, because it heals as opposed to blocks damage, so you can just use it if your opponent's low on HP, and then just heal them back up, so
Yeah.
it's a really good spell.
Yeah, it's easy to underestimate, I think. You kind of get caught up on LC self-buffing it, but support position 4 LC could happen one of these
Radiant's
days. You
bottom
never know.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, it gives
Press your
attack speed.
attack, boys.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It gives so much more than shield.
Yeah.
No wonder Abaddon's never picked.
Oh, man. What a rough game for this Weaver, though. Paulison 0-6-2. He grabs a bracer. Looks like he's going to make a second one. Forget about the treads. He says, give me a couple of bracers, please. I've got 6 legs. Need something.
Maybe even just buy a cloak for that value magic resistance. He could go pipe first item. It used to be, like, you go back a couple of years, pipe plus vitality booster was like the Weaver build.
That was a thing? Yeah.
It was like treads, vit booster, and then you go pipe.
Okay. Well, Moonlight Shadow's been used.
Yeah, they're looking for Weaver bottom. They're not going to find him.
Well, they almost do. Paulson grabs a bounty rune, maybe thinking about moving into lane, but Miracle even blinks forward, press the attack is on, and won't find an opening, compliments of the Moonlight. No invasion, they'll just clear up the creep wave down bottom, and maybe try to pressure this tier 2 a little bit. Ketchik, what's he going for? He does have a level 2 Necro Book, so they've got some decent pushing power, but here's first departure with the defense.
They need to stampede out.
Oh, there they will, yeah, and I think they needed to. FCFC comes in, steals some damage from Miracle. Hana comes in with a Chronosphere, will do a bit of damage. Sunstrike flies out, but Ketchik will survive. For now, Ice Blast will hit him. They bring down the Void. Ketchik just trying not to shatter, but Weaver will finish him off. Now the Abaddon gets left behind. Miracle in a lot of trouble. FCFC, he'll get some extra damage. It's not the best duel we've seen. Lubby the only one left behind, and it will be a full 5-man wipe. Just the Invoker goes down. A huge fight for Invasion.
FC got the mech off right before the AA Ice Blast and kept the Invoker alive a little bit longer. Like, everything just worked out perfectly. If he didn't mech before that Ice Blast, himself as well as the Invoker probably die a lot sooner. And FD just not ready for a full 5-on-5 engagement. Not against a Razor that's this farmed. Although he's only got the mech. He's really farmed, but all his money and items is just in stocked up gold right now.
Tower is under attack.
So what's crazy here is FCFC now still on his dominating streak, 8-0-7. And now they're going to get this tower. Maybe not. Hana comes in for the defense. Maybe they can force a shatter here on the Razor. And oh, Hana, he goes down. Centaur chops him, but they will end monster kill streak. It's Ancient Apparition that gets credit for it. Now Paulison pressing forward. Miracle coming in. And Ghost turning onto Paulison. Almost brings him down, but a nice time lapse. Now the duel on Ghost. Miracle may get some damage out of this, and yes, he will. That's a winner. LC up to 44 plus damage, and FD strike right back.
Yeah, the 44 damage is good. It's not going to be something Invasion are too worried about just yet. They've got such good like counter LC heroes with all the lockdown they've got. They can shoot arrows at him. He's going for that straight BKB, which I think is the right move. But for now, like even the defensive disruption being used as a counter to the duel. They've got lots of answers for Miracle this game.
Yep, 22-8, or yeah, 22-8. Glancing at the graphs here, about 10,000 gold, 7,500 experience in favor of Invasion. So, holding on to a pretty solid lead. This Invoker still just racking up the net worth, and the problem for First Departure is just no one's farming that well. Yeah. I mean, Miracle's doing okay, sort of like you were talking about, but compared to this Invoker, who's really just had run of the map, feeling pretty good. They almost lose the Courier trying to D-ward. ADTR just barely keeps his Pudgeling alive.
Shoots an arrow, won't be on point. Yeah, Pelosi and the double bracer, Ogre Club now as well.
Ooh, at least he's getting strength, but
yeah, probably gonna just sell his bottle and just get the raw survivability of whatever he can.
Who's supposed to be the damage dealer on this Dire team? That's the... I mean,
Void and LC to some extent. Like Void and AA can combo to get some kills in fights with the Chrono Ice Blast, and then Legion's
Radiant's
kind of
bottom
like the
tower
cleanup.
is under attack.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's like because there's no one single like clear carry. It's going to have to be like a team effort to get kills in these fights.
Yeah, LC. I guess that's going to be a BKB with that Ogre Club. About a recipe away. So Miracle's getting pretty close. Yeah, it's a good BKB game for the Dire. Invasion don't really have too much to deal with it. Centaur, he'll go pipe though. Look at this. I like this guy.
Alrighty.
Pipe boys. Blink Pipe.
Against the overwhelming odds is actually a lot of AoE damage when you try 5-man push. I don't know what FD's going with this plate mail. Like it's Shivers or Assault Cuirass or maybe a casual plate mail, but I feel getting like an Ag Scepter just because also for the stats. Like he's only got 1200 HP. He's actually not the tankiest.
Yeah, that's one of the issues with going mech. You only get those 5 stats, and usually.
And he didn't go treads, he went phase boot, so he's really just missing out on HP right now, which I feel, when I saw the plate mail, I'm like, oh, he's still got such bad base HP right now.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll just try to go for an Assault Cuirass for maximum
Listen,
pushing.
Arrow.
Yeah, there it is. Gets cleansed. They get that's a Radiant Sentry Ward down off to the side. They're ready for this fight to take kind of an odd path. Paulison gets initiated on, and he will survive. Out comes the Chrono, connects on 2. Ketchik the target of choice, but he will live. Stampede's been used. Now Miracle comes in, connects with the duel, will take a victory, but goes down shortly after. Looks like it's Invasion that are coming out way ahead in this fight. Buybacks from First Departure aplenty. 2, 1 on the Void, 1 on the LC as they continue to pursue. Defensive Disruption buys the Shadow Demon a little bit of time, but will end up going down. Hana time walks forward. Can't catch anyone else. So kind of an interesting team fight. First Departure get blown up, but end up getting a couple of recovery kills off some buybacks. It's a 2 for 3 total.
It's, yeah, an 800 gold net worth victory for Invasion, but if it's Roshan off of this, First Departure will be pretty pleased. And like the heroes we brought back, like sure Miracle wants to work on that BKB, but he's at the stage where he doesn't actually lose gold necessarily. He gets some kills when he respawns, and it kind of balances out.
Arrow comes in, hits on Lubby. They get a little bit of intel on how low Roche is. They may want to go for this. Ghost coming in, hoof stomp, and Aegis will go to the Dire. And picked up by the LC. Now Ghost in a little bit of trouble. Another arrow flies through, hits Hana, but he'll get cleansed with Press the Attack. There's the duel from Miracle. And he'll get a little extra damage off the Centaur. Now up to 72. Still holding the Aegis. It's a big success for First Departure.
We saw it in game 1 yesterday against Malaysia. Like Malaysia with a pretty big lead, and the Miracle Legion Commander just accumulating enough damage and turning things around. So do have to worry a little bit for Invasion here. Despite their fantastic early game, it's kind of just stagnated to a large extent here.
Yeah, well, Razor now has Shivas, so at least that plate mail's been upgraded to a core item. I do agree that stats would have been better, but Shivas is still pretty good here against a Weaver, Void, and LC.
Yeah, the attack speed slow is, like, a lot of their damage is coming from right click right now, so the attack speed slow helps quite a bit.
Definitely. And yeah, ADTR just goes back to farming down bottom. He's picked up a medallion. Glancing at the gold graph, still a pretty big lead for Invasion. About 9,000 experience, dwindling to only 2,500. There still is not a single tower killed from First Departure. So that is something holding back their gold economy a little bit. Weaver will get his first item, and hey, that's a BKB.
Yeah, he did well in these last couple of fights. He's just stayed alive. It's been the Legion and the Abaddon who dies, and he's kind of more frontline heroes. So he's done well, kept alive by the cleanses. Like these 5-second arrows are getting just taken off right away, and that's almost like baited Invasion in a couple of times into fights that were maybe not as favorable as they would have expected.
So Invoker, now he'll have an Ogre Club. BKB perhaps the next item for him.
Yeah, it's a good choice, I think.
Yeah.
Just helps keep himself alive after, like, if he survives the Chronosphere, which he should do because of the Shadow Demon disruptions.
Yeah, the Chronos have been countered fairly effectively this game. They've served more to just sort of break up the fights than really isolate one and secure a kill. Has a couple of times, but Shadow Demon's been pretty on point with his positioning. Been a good game for OK, and there's your pipe on the Centaur. So Invasion now a little bit better off in terms of team fights. Pipe, mech, and FD have neither of those items. Lubby on the AA, pretty close to an Aghanims though. Looking for that last piece and 400 gold towards it.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice big pickup. He's just lurking around this bit. Like, maybe even thinking if they go for a push bottom, he is like a better position to be in to throw a long range Ice Blast, but he's going to get out of there for now. Invasion had, like, this is the point of the game. At the moment, they're just probably, like, trying to figure out if they want to go for a push, if they want to play a farm game. ADTR picks up a late Midas, which suggests he wants to start scaling into a semi-carry.
Radiant's top tower is
I
under
think is
attack.
fine.
I think it's more of an insurance policy for ADTR here, where,
Yeah.
I mean, what else would he buy that would make a big impact
It's
at this
that
point?
kind of same thing with the Elder Titan. It's like, yeah, there's not really any items that make a big impact unless you're going to go into that carry mode.
Yeah.
There's no, like, the 4 staff is like the one item you could get over the Midas as far as a support Marana goes, but I don't think they desperately need 4 staffs. Doesn't really, you can't push people out of Chronosphere. It doesn't work too well against duels, so
Yeah. What happens if you force up somebody while they're being dueled? Just LC chases
Yeah.
after him real
Well,
quick.
they
Yeah.
both chase back into each other, so it's like...
Oh, so it's pretty
It-
useless.
It maybe means like 2 less right clicks or something. Like
Yeah.
It's pretty small deal.
Yeah. Usually, though, it feels like you're facing the opposite way you'd want to push them also. So
Yeah.
just not a very good item in general on that front. Fair enough.
Radiant
Invoker very
structures are
close to his
fortified.
BKB, though. Just about 400
Radiant's
gold till he
middle
can
tower
grab it.
is under
And
attack.
Miracle has his. Not too much time left on the Aegis, so maybe Invasion will stay a little more passive for the next minute or so till that baby expires, and then they'll look to put this pipe to use. They do pick up a smoke on the Abaddon on the side of First Departure. Maybe they'll be the ones that want to get a little aggressive here, perhaps on the back of this AA upgrade after killing this potato. He'll grab himself an Aghanims.
He's got it. Invoker's got his BKB though, so the pipe as well also can negate some of that ticking damage.
Yeah, fair bit. How long does the pipe buff actually last for?
It's
Like
a
15 seconds?
decent time. Doesn't actually say on the
Doesn't
item.
say. That's kind of weird.
Volvo, please.
I'm more just curious if you can actually use it to outlast the duration of the upgraded Frostbite.
Yeah,
Is
10 to
it-
15. Maybe like
Yeah.
it's like that
Oh,
12 second in
yeah.
between.
I don't think it's 7
Well, they
seconds.
found
It's
Miracle.
oh, yeah, they'll hit him with an arrow. Now Ghost goes in. Meatball to follow up. A Photic Shield keeps Miracle alive.
They know he
and
has Aegis, which is about to expire, so they're like, let's not... Unless they can just kill him easily, which they do in the end, it's not worth it.
Sunstrike just barely off the mark. Miracle comes back to life, and not too much worse for wear.
They weren't going to throw ultis at him. And it was more like, okay, if we can get a kill without
Radiant's
any
bottom
damage being
tower
taken,
is under
do it, but
attack.
otherwise we just back off. Because his Aegis, oh, now gone.
3-2-2 Roche spot timer popping up. Maybe it's a sign. Miracle taking some damage, but this tier 1 in the mid will go down. No glyph. Razor
Radiant's
does
middle
secure the
tower
deny.
has
Nicely
been
played by
denied.
FCFZ. And FD will just back off following that tower kill. Will a Strangler get picked off as they make the retreat? Ward goes down on the high ground.
It's sticking together pretty well, actually making a beeline for this bottom tier 1. So all these towers they've yet been able to pick up, those money bags starting to drop.
Closing that gap, now down to about 7,000. Experience is zeroed out, so Invasion don't have quite the clutch on this game as they did earlier on. And FD just hanging out in the jungle. They put this ward down, hoping someone from Invasion would follow them and try and rotate into the jungle. But
Radiant's bottom
Invasion
tower is
simply
under
put won't
attack.
fall for the bait. Instead, they'll smoke and they'll do a wraparound here of sorts. Still plenty of duration left on the smoke. They'll actually move into the
Radiant's
dire
bottom
jungle.
tower
Interesting
has
rotation.
They can get some wards down with this, I guess, is the main thing. Or get one deep ward and then use this to push the tier 2 top tower. Could turn into a bit of a trade here, but First Departure seem a bit tentative to push this bottom lane.
Yeah, definitely a little hesitant. They will TP back their Faceless Void. He does get Chilling Touch before he goes back. And now they will just clear out the rest of the Radiant jungle, maybe wait for the respawns before making a full retreat. Ward does go down on the Dire Plateau, so Invasion get the vision that they were looking for.
Yeah, and even if it gets dewarded really soon, it's just like, it gives you this guarantee that you're not going to be caught by surprise for this push, because nighttime also hits, so vision otherwise would be very limited for Invasion. So they can pretty safely push this tier 2. Only thing you have to worry about is
Dire's
some
top
kind of a
tower
smoke game
is
coming
under
in.
attack.
What they really need to worry about is this LC with a double damage in the bottle. That is a combination that
Radiant's
is
bottom
scary.
tower
And
is
Miracle,
under
he's coming
attack.
right in the side. Arrow
Dire's
flies over, hits on the
structures are
Abaddon.
fortified.
Ghost will do some damage there. FCFZ is the one that gets dueled. Now the Chrono comes out. They can't save the Razor. Miracle will become a winner. The Shadow Demon gets isolated by the Chrono. It's a quick 2-0, and now the rest of Invasion on the retreat. The pipe will come out. Paulson pressing forward. Sentries coming down on both sides as Moonlight Shadow being utilized. That'll be the end of it. Paulson taking a lot of damage, but gets off the time lapse. ADTR leaps to safety, and
Dire's
Centaur
top
looking for
tower
that blink.
is under
Overwhelming
attack.
odds. But Blink Dagger will cool down, moves into the tree line, and he TPs out. Nicely played by Ghost. Still the opposite of what
Dire's
Invasion
top
wanted, and
tower is
First
under
Departure
attack.
striking back.
Yeah, that Chronosphere really split up the fight nicely, because Razor wasn't inside it, and then they could finish off the Razor while 2 or 3 other heroes were in that Chronosphere, and the heroes who weren't were kind of blocked off by it, so very well played by First Departure. And Invasion saw it coming. They had the ward, they had the sentry. The problem was they kind of just had that only split second to react. The arrow didn't hit Miracle, it went on the Abaddon. Even if it hits Miracle, it gets immediately shielded off, so they really didn't have too many options for actually dealing with that fight. Like, you can try burst down Miracle with a blink stun from the Centaur and all the burst damage they have, but one shield will get rid of that stun and Miracle just pops his BKB.
Yeah. This is tricky for Invasion, taking these team fights. They kind of need that perfect initiation to deal with the cleansers and also kill Miracle or lock him down, take him out of the fight. It looks like Invoker, I think that's going to be a Scythe, the ultimate orb he's got sitting back at home. And maybe their strategy will just be throw enough stuns and crowd controls at him that they, you know, can only cleanse so much.
We get the lightning bug. Over. How do you feel about the lightning bug?
The lightning bug?
Yeah.
Oh.
The new Maelstrom with the Gemini attack.
Yeah, it's okay. I think it's pretty solid. I don't know. What do you think about it? I don't have a strong opinion either way. I think it's.
It feels like this is a pretty good game for it. Like it's when he's split pushing, it helps him farm and push lanes a bit faster because it the lightning damage, and he doesn't need to be like the main source of single target damage in a team fight. He just needs to kind of stay alive and do what damage he can.
Yeah.
It seems alright.
I think it's good. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's amazing either. I still think Deso on Weaver is kind of a tried and true core item, but Razor, you're going to get dueled. Miracle, he's got a full blade mail, and it'll end up being an easy one on the Razor. That's another bout of damage, and well, Razor's got 14, but it's the LC with most of the damage here. 108 at the 31-minute mark. Miracle is hitting that critical mass point where he's hitting for 300 a pop almost here, Gods. It's pretty scary.
Yeah. It feels like a very similar story to what we saw yesterday, where once he starts getting that damage and just has that solo kill potential with the blade mail, plus like around 100-ish damage, anyone caught alone like that can get solo killed. That was with the help of the Weaver. Maybe it wouldn't have been a solo dual kill, but his killing potential is really better than anyone else is in the game right now.
Yeah, they get a deny on the top tier 1 tower, but I feel like at this point he can solo kill pretty much anyone except the Centaur. Maybe he can't solo kill the Razor straight up. I mean, he had a little bit of help that game, but just a duel into an Ice Blast is basically enough for him to get a kill at this point. Yeah. Even if he doesn't win the duel, should be able to chase him down with overwhelming odds and then force out a Shatter.
Ghost is going for what would be a kind of annoying Crimson Guard for the physical damage, but I feel like he almost need to go for a bigger item. Like this is
just go straight into the heart at this point.
Yeah,
I mean,
what I like the heart.
At 32 minutes, Vanguard not really doing a hell of a lot for you. And sure, you can upgrade it to the Crimson Guard, but another item that doesn't really scale all that well.
No. He kind of needs a bit of armor, which is where the Crimson Guard helps. He could have gone Shiver's Guard, which has already been purchased by FC. And I think that maybe would have been a better way to itemize. Get Ghost to go for the Shivers into Heart, get FC to go Ag's BKB or Ag's Heart. We've seen these Heart of Trash as having the HP survivability. That's going to allow you to stay alive throughout a Chronosphere, stay alive throughout a duel, so and even just have the HP you need to survive an Ice Blast.
Miracle looking for an opening here in the mid lane, but they'll scout him out, gets hit by an arrow, and this could be the end of the LC. No, they're afraid. They think it's bait.
There were no Centaur nearby, it looks like. They needed, I guess they could have maybe gone for a Stampede, but yeah, that would have been
Centaur was
a bit close.
He was close-ish. Yeah. I'm a little surprised they didn't put a little more zing into that one.
Yeah, could have even thrown a Sunstrike from afar from the Invoker, so they had options.
Yeah, I mean, LC does have a BKB, so they would have had to lock him down. I think they thought he would just BKB, TP out right away, and they had nothing to do with it, but even just forcing him to use a 9-second BKB charge defensively, I think that's a victory worth pursuing.
Invoker has money for his sheep stick, and he's going to pick it up.
There you go. So Scythe on him, and at the same time, the Mjolnir will come out onto Paulison.
He can just put, he's putting this on Miracle, which is the other reason why I think this is a kind of good kind of semi-carry Weaver type build, because you can buff up Miracle to do even more damage in a fight, and he's going to be guaranteed to do those Mjolnir procs because of the duel where he's getting attacked.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nice bit of synergy there. One of the reasons you'll see LC often pick up the Mjolnir, but now this opens up Miracle to probably just go into a heart, as we talked about. When you steal all this damage, or well, steal implies that you actually take it, but when you rack up all this damage, I mean, I think saving up for a Reaver is a pretty smart next choice.
Yeah, I think that's, unless he wants the Assault Crest, but I think the heart first and then maybe the Assault Crest is his last time. They get scouted in the Roshan pit. FD not going to commit. They immediately back off.
Yeah, they do have a Chrono here and everything else available, so they may still look to take a fight. Necronomicon units come in to scout things out, and using that True Vision.
And they smoke up here on the eastern front, and they're going to walk right into Marana.
And Marana will leap away. Now Necronomicon units come in. Miracle will be happy just to take that 200 gold, almost as good as a hero.
He could have blink dueled the Mirana there. I think he just doesn't want to use it on the Mirana. At this point, he's not that desperate for duel damage. He wants to make sure he gets a key hero like FZ on the Razor or the Invoker with the duel. So he has that luxury not to just throw it on a support now that he's farmed enough.
Yeah. Has a BKB, so not having great vision on Invasion. I was thinking maybe worried about Centaur jumping on him, but yeah, I think you're right, looking for those key heroes. Now Roshan will go down to the Dire, uncontested. Aegis once more goes to the LC, and Invasion, they just have their sights set on this tier 2 mid, but in comes Void. Chrono on 2, FCFC and Coast. Caught inside, defensive disruption will keep the Razor safe, and oh boy, they just take that Void down. Now Miracle, he gets hexed up, Pipe's been used, that'll be the end of the Aegis. FD just taking way too much damage here. Paulson will get off a Time Blast, but Ancient Apparition does not survive. Miracle comes back to life, and they will find the kill on the Shadow Demon. It's a 2 for 2 now. Miracle in hot pursuit of ADTR. Mirana on the run, and has the gem, so really wants to survive this one. Miracle does have a duel, not going to be able to get it off. What a close call that was.
Yeah, ballsy play to go for that high ground leap. I think if Miracle was spamming it as he went to the high ground, expecting a TP there, maybe would have cancelled it, but he was expecting Mirana to keep running and go for a leap.
Yeah. So Invasion, they don't really win that fight. It's a 2 for 2. They do win as they get the Aegis, but
yeah.
Sort of showing that they still have some strength in this game. I mean, they're holding on to the gold lead. Even though Miracle has a lot of momentum, if there wasn't an Aegis in that fight, it would have been, I think, just a stomp.
They almost burst down the Weaver too, just even in his BKB, just with the physical damage. So.
That's that upgraded Razor ultimate, man. It just cuts right through the magic community.
Yeah, FC is going to get stronger. Like, he's got his Ag Scepter now. He can pick up either the Heart or the Refresher next. I think Heart may be a little bit better this game.
Yeah.
BKB also possible. Like, just the Ice Blast is annoying, but I don't feel like BKB is going to be what he wants to get.
Yeah. I think Heart first, but Heart Refresher, that'll give FZ the power he needs to really transition into that late game quite nicely. Still will put out a lot of damage, and that makes it so Miracle can't just kind of blind duel. He has to be cautious of where those ults are at. And even just the upgraded ultimate now, if it's just Miracle versus the Razor, and he has the ultimate on, sure, there's still that the Blade Mail that'll do some return damage. That minus armor really adds up, and it hurts.
Yeah. And just all it takes is like one defensive disruption, and because his ultimate still goes through while he's disrupted, he's doing more minus armor, he's still doing some damage, and he can pop out, and Miracle's duel is almost over, and well, good things can happen from there.
that's a cute little piece of synergy that I guess we didn't mention too much, but the disruption has a nice interaction with Eye of the Storm. But there's LC going for the Assault Karas.
Okay.
So not beefing up the HP pool like we were thinking, but
no game-winning Heart.
Yeah, grabbing some auras. Still has space for a Heart, I guess, if he wants BOTs and gets rid of that TP scroll, but he's got the AC now, so a lot of armor, and the Abaddon here, I believe. Yep, he's picked up the Vlad's Offering. So lots of melee on the side of FD. Do like the choice here.
Yeah. And just having all this extra armor, like that last fight, everyone on First Departure has BKBs, or at least their 3 cores do. They pop their BKBs, but Invasion still have good physical damage from the Invoker with the Fort Spirits, with the Necrobooks, Razor, and it's still formidable right-click damage. Like, if you kind of centralize on one target, you can find kills. So First Departure is just saying, okay, let's help deal with that problem and get the AC, get the Vlads, and suddenly, well, I don't know how Invasion are going to kill BKB heroes.
Yeah, they don't have much besides the Razor ulti. That's kind of their only real tool. I mean, Invoker with a Hex, that's sort of a tool against BKB if you can get it off fast enough. But he doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so getting in position to do that is a little easier said than done. Speaking of Invoker, though, he's still #1 on net worth by about 5,000 up on the LC and has 3,000 gold to spare.
I don't know how he's done it. He's just...
Ketchik is just...
I guess he's been farming a decent amount this game, but he's been showing up to all the fights and pushes recently.
Yeah, I mean, he's 5, 3, and 10, so he's been involved in half the kills. Moran is still holding on to the gem, but now FD have picked up one of their own. Aluka on the Abaddon here has some detection. So both sides with considerable abilities to control the map, and both with only 1 ward down right now. Dire right outside the Roche pit here, just giving some info into the river, and Radiant side, they've got their plateau covered.
Yeah, and I know Roshan coming to play for a while. It seems both teams just happy to enter this kind of trading farm stage of the game, which normally happens a bit earlier, but neither team can really push high ground. Invasion don't have the vision to push out and try and take a fight. I think if they had better vision, they would do so because they can make sure they don't get jumped by a Legion commander. But because it's nighttime, because they have no wards up on the map, it's very dangerous for them to push out in case they get jumped and have instantly lose either Invoker or Razor. Fight's over.
Well, now there's a smoke from Invasion. We'll see how this works out. Ketchuk in the front lines, holding on to all that gold. Midas available, and they might find this
He's gonna
void.
get hexed up.
Oh, yeah. Ghost Walk in the front, and there you go. Hex he actually misses the hoof stomp, but it just doesn't matter. They still kill the void. He even uses the BKB at the end of that. That's your 9-second BKB charge.
Oh dear.
Completely wasted.
Yeah, that was a bit silly. So, are they gonna go for this push? At this stage of the game, you're always expecting after killing a core like that they have buyback. So the risk is
bottom tower
you go for the push, they buy back, and you can't actually retreat, which is
fortified.
somewhat of a worry without Stampede.
Yeah,
They should definitely expect a buyback here, and if they time the buyback with like Miracle blinking with a Jewel, suddenly you're forced to engage, and suddenly there's a 2-3 hero Cronus here.
There's the buyback. Lift comes out. Moonlight Shadow to disengage, and Miracle TP's back a little too late. But Paulson, he'll use his BKB. He wants more out of this. Where's their gem? I know they have one. It's on one of the supports in the back.
I don't know if he misclicked the BKB or what there, because that was not a good use of his BKB. They find a courier. Yep, they're going to get one last right click.
Radiant's courier has
Everyone
been
TP's
killed.
out. That was
No cargo. No. Very small victory there. They trade their glyph away, and
yeah.
Void does still buy back for that.
I think you've got to coordinate that buyback with your engagement. Like, that was a bit, I would just say, sloppy in the sense that you want to use that buyback when Invasion are already committed to a fight, which I guess has to come from a Jewel, so maybe Miracle's worry about dying if he goes in blinking in with a Jewel, but Invasion were intent to force out that buyback, so you should try and punish it.
So good news for Invasion, and Invoker still sitting pretty at the top of the chart. Gets another ultimate orb here, so...
Alright. Get
What
some
a-
Lincoln's action.
Oh,
Block
so-
the Jewel, I guess. I mean,
Okay.
Scotty's okay for the slow through BKB, but
It's a decent Lincoln's game. Doesn't really block all that much, so it's pretty much dual mist coil.
yeah.
That's what you got here, although Invoker hasn't... he hasn't really been dueled too much this game, but still
Put
a
on
useful item.
teammates, in theory.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. Buffing up that Razor. He does pick up the Reaver, so he'll go for a heart, and as will the Weaver. Kind of speak of the devil here. He's got 1900 HP all of a sudden.
I think he actually had the heart on the courier, maybe? No, he's got the heart recipe at base, so...
Heart is actually on the Courier right now, yeah. So is that a full heart that he's got? Does he have enough for the Vit booster? He sure does. So 2500 HP on this Weaver.
There's going to be a lot of hearts this game, I think. Legion can buy his Reaver soon, which I got to imagine is going to be his next item.
Oh, Ketchuk goes in, hexes up Aluka, but is that really the target they want to go for? He gets the ultimate off, but now they come in. Void on his way, brings out the Chrono, won't be able to save the Abaddon. Gets the Chrono on 2. Ice Blast will follow up, but can't find any of the kills. They do bring down the Shadow Demon. FCFZ in the front lines with Ghost. Miracle gets stunned up. They kill the LC. Now Paulson, BKB on. Wants to bring down the Razor, doing considerable damage, finds the kill.
The Mjolnir
Oh,
killed him. He didn't have
my
vision
God.
or detection. Like, that was an invis Razor who was like, sweet, Pelosi can't kill me, and then suddenly the Mjolnir zaps him. Apparently it hits invis? I don't know.
Wow. I saw the proc. That was pretty awkward. And now Paulson will
Yeah.
probably get punished here.
No
Necro
time
units
lapse,
are there.
Necro vision.
And a hex. So, okay. A 2 for 3.
Man, I don't know how that Razor hit. Apparently Mjolnir hits invis.
Yeah, awkward fight in the jungle there. But Ketchuk off that, he will go for Scotty off this. So going for a little more of that right click, getting some utility.
Wow, that's unexpected.
Mm-hmm. Don't see that too
It
often.
is nice, like, for the movement and attack speed slow through BKB, so they can combine it with the shivers. So there's a lot of attack speed slow on whoever's getting right clicked by the Scotty. But I think I would have preferred like a refresher maybe, but he can still go for that as his last item.
Yeah.
Get the refresher hex, double BKB, double chaos meteors, etc.
I think of this as like the Hani build. I know how much he loves Scotty, and he's like the
Yes.
only other Invoker player that I've seen get Scotty at least more than once, not just a one-off thing. So this is very interesting. Invoker's still pretty scary, though. Not the highest level in the game anymore. The Weaver and LC have actually found a decent amount of farm. 3,800 gold on the LC, and we saw Weaver did just complete that Heart of Tarrasque. Invasion, they've just been holding this like steady 6,000 7,000 gold lead throughout the game, and it's been enough that they've held steady, but haven't really been able to jump up and take that huge lead that they've been looking for.
They got to a point, I mean, they had the bigger lead, and then trying to force high ground and stuff, they suddenly realized, wait, this is actually not working. We're kind of giving away early, and they're like, okay, let's farm for the late game. Our late game's actually pretty good here. Like, I'd say first departure, like, they have to fight their late game around, like, the chronospheres and the jewels. For invasion, they have got much shorter cooldown stuns, like the centaur stuns, the arrows if they can land them. They do have to worry a bit about the shield and the press the attack cleansing it, but...
Yep, Sunstrike, I hear it. I don't
in
see
Roshan.
it. Ah, okay, just scouting
I
her out.
didn't see Roshan, but I think they know they should know Roshan's back up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how fast of a timer it was.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Razor's heart now up, so no buyback for Razor. That's okay. He wasn't even close to he wasn't that close to buyback money, and the heart's actually a pretty big item pickup.
Hana on the Faceless Void will move into an Aghanim Scepter here, about 800 away from that last piece and the point booster.
Okay.
Interesting choice. I mean, they do have to fight her on the chrono a bit.
It's okay.
Oh,
At this stage, I always like prefer the refresher orb just for the like the insta double 2 chronos. Like having having the really short cooldown, 60 seconds is nice, but having 2 chronospheres in a fight can be much higher impact.
So first departure, they'll move into the Roche pit. Not everyone has a TP here, so they get
Roshan
the
has
Roche,
fallen
but
to the dire.
Invasion, they'll look towards the high ground. LC
Dire's top tower is under
and the
attack.
Abaddon are lacking TPs. They will be able to book it back
Dire's
pretty quickly.
structures are
The
fortified.
tower's already at half health. Glyph comes out, and they'll jump right onto Paulison. Can they bring him down before the time lapse? They do!
No
Now-
buyback. Whoa, Pelosin, please.
Dire's
This is
top
really
tower has
bad.
fallen.
First departure. Is this how you're really going to go out? Duel on FCFC.
Disruption. There
But
we go.
there's the defensive disruption. Miracle taking a lot of damage in return. Hana comes in. FCFC will survive, at least for now. No bonus damage for Miracle. They bring down the Aegis. Costs them the Lightning Revenant. Aluka taking heavy damage also. They bring out the Borrowed Time. Faceless Void stands his ground to the Centaur, but it will cost him everything.
Scouty slope. It's doing work.
Yeah, now he gets caught inside the disruption. Meatball off the mark, but Ghost, he's just so damn tanky in these front lines. Stuns up Miracle, hits him with another double edge. Now the cheese gets passed to him. Miracle, this guy, he's still alive. They're going to hold the barracks off this. Paulison finally able to get back in the fray. He does buy back, and Invasion will get repelled. Moonlight
Radiant's
Shadow
bottom
keeps 2 of them
tower is
alive.
under attack.
Let's look at this recap.
How did we forget buyback money? He was short, and then suddenly, I don't know what happened as far as how he got the money. I have to go back and check. Maybe they've got a tower somewhere on the map, but I didn't see any tower go down.
Yeah, me neither.
He was short by like 150 too. It's not like I
It was
clicked
about
on it,
it,
it was
yeah.
like 10 short. So
It's about
something
100.
gave him a gold boost.
Well, yeah, with Weaver not buying back there, it would have been
Radiant's
a
middle tower
lot
is under
different.
attack.
Luka gets sniped at base. Oh, the ice blast.
Oh my god, he
Yeah,
did.
the ancient apparition lasts all the way
Radiant's
back
middle
to
tower
the team
has
fight.
fallen.
Wow, that's
Does-
really big.
doesn't buy
Radiant's
back, we'll
middle
have to use it,
tower
though.
is under attack.
Yeah, there is a Radiant Glyph here. Invasion should be able to
Radiant
hold this.
structures are fortified.
Centaur coming up in about 20 seconds. And
That tornado pushing back.
wow. Okay, well, first departure, they strike right back, and this game has just been bust wide open. The graph's telling a very untrue story. This is pretty neck and neck, and the whatever gold advantage that Invasion have is just totally negligible at this point.
You can see just like the last 30 minutes, it's been more or less flat. Like there was that
Yeah.
one dip going first departure's way, and since then it's been pretty unchanging.
Yeah, so Miracle now, he's got that heart. He's pretty tanky. The last Roche has been completely negated now. Aegis and Cheese were both used to make that hold up top. Buybacks, both teams have 1 on cooldown, both cores in the Weaver and the Invoker. And
A lot of here is short money. Like Legion has his buyback not on cooldown, but he doesn't have the money for it. He's short
yeah.
a pretty big, decent chunk right now. Needs a full 1,000 gold.
Yeah.
Are they gonna find? It might be Lovey they find.
No, Lovey will TP home, so they won't even find the gank there. Maybe they can push top. They really want to. While the Glyph is down, they want to at least finish off the range barracks. Do you like Invasion's general game plan here to stay aggressive and keep taking these fights?
I think this is good. I guess well, it's good especially because the Legion commander doesn't have buyback, although Invasion don't know that, but
Yeah.
hey.
Now, I like this item pick up on the Centaur. He grabs a halberd. Well, I think it'll be a halberd with that Sange. Are a couple of BKBs on the Dire side, but they're getting low. 7 seconds on LC and already down to 5 seconds on the Weaver. So I think it will be a very useful pickup in these more drawn-out skirmishes.
I wonder if Invasion are actually going to go for this, or if they're going to just push it out, back off. It looks like mid lane.
Yeah. Miracle's just so damn tanky. We'll chase him down with Scotty. Moonlight Shadow's been used. Maybe Miracle won't be able to survive this after all.
What's the plan here? Miracle could duel, but yeah, Miracle, there's your Ice Wall, and he's now going to Blade Mail. Miracle just gets more or less solo killed with some help from the Centaur showing up finally, but
yeah, he ends up going down. Now Paulson BKB on. He'll stand his ground, but he'll be forced to time lapse an Invasion.
The Crimson Guard. Yeah. Oh wow, that Abaddon died fast.
Wow, Ketchik really selling me on the Scotty Invoker. That totally set that up.
Yeah.
At first I was like, oh, you're just tickling this guy with a heart. And then, well.
Tickling, but it just bought time for the Centaur and stuff to show up. They buy back the Abaddon, but the fact it's the Abaddon, not the Legion, buying back Invasion's like, Miracle doesn't seem to have a buyback. Let's get some racks.
Yeah, LC
let's get top, let's get mid, let's get multiple lanes.
400 gold shirt. Today I learned that tickles can kill.
That was a really big play. Like, most Invoker players be like, look, he's got too much HP, I can't solo kill him. But this Invoker's just like, well, it may take a long time, but I've got this 4-second cooldown Invoke, so I can just keep getting new spells.
So Miracle stuck in the grave for another 45 seconds. We'll see how Invasion react to it. They finish off the top lane of Barracks. They ping out mid. So it looks like they do not want to back up here. Weaver does have a Demon Edge, starting to get a little more scary.
FC's got buyback too, so he can, yeah, he's just going to go high ground with the creeps in the base already up top, and I think this is the second lane of Rax.
Arrow flies through, will not connect. Now the Glyph comes out. They'll at least get a tier 3 tower, I think. 15 seconds on the LC.
Yeah, they get Rax, and well, for the first patch have to engage before Miracles respawn, I think.
Yeah.
They're not fully committing to it, they're a bit scared.
Hana comes in, there's your Chrono, connects on only FCFC, but Defensive Disruption comes in, goes, gets off the Crimson Guard, the pipe, they turn it around, bring down the Void. Now the LC's up, but it's still a 5v4. Lubby getting slowed down by the Scotty quite a bit. Borrowed time's already been used. Aluka needs to be very cautious how he handles this. Miracle joining the party. They will defend the Barracks, but even just conceding the Void, this hurts. And Invasion, will it be a fake back? They have a heart on the Razor, so he can regenerate quickly, giving him earned charges. Yep. And I think they're just going to go right back in here.
Yeah, Void dies for the cause to save the Raxus for now. But then, hey, it's like he's dead and Miracle. That's the shield. That's
okay. Shield's there. Still a nice arrow to get things started. Miracle comes in, finds the duel on FCFC. Again, the defensive disruption. Ice Blast will connect on quite a few. FCFC will go down. No additional damage for Miracle. Goes, taking a lot as well. Invasion, they're going to overstay their welcome. It's a double for Lubby. Okay, he'll try to TP home, and he won't make it. Weaver just gives him the dirty.
I was not expecting Razor to die there. He also, the disruption also made the Ice Blast not hit him. It missed because of the disruption, but he still dies in the end. Miracle just doing enough damage with the 100 plus 100, 108, which hasn't actually gone up in a long, long time.
And now Ketchik, he's kind of going blow for blow with Paulson. He'll try to TP out. This won't work. It will.
Wow.
Woo!
Scotty, man, that extra armor, extra HP. That saves his life there.
Literally just saved him.
Dodges the Ice Blast in Fountain too. Nicely played.
Wow, well, what a team fight that was. This graph now all over the place, dipping back and forth, and that, again, this is just an even game here. First departure, lose a lane of Rax, but they strike back, and now, what's the buyback status?
Razor has. That's the main one.
Razor has it. Centaur does not. He'll be up in 25, though. Radiant should have a Glyph, and they do.
Avoid Shadow Demon is buyback. He's going to respawn, though. He's hit some really good defensive disruptions. Obviously, it's his job, so can't praise him for doing his job too much.
You only had one job, Shadow Demon, and you did it damn well.
Yep.
Good work. Tier 3 tower still standing. Miracle on the front lines. He'll get hexed up. Hit by the EMP. Say goodbye to your mana pool. Still has enough for a duel. They haven't glyphed yet. Will use it for the tower. And Invasion making a good hold. All 5 have respawned. They didn't have to use any buybacks on this. And Paulson will get stunned up. Now cleansed by the shield.
He's found a Lincoln Spear, which he's just like using on teammates at this stage. Keeps putting it on Miracle just so he doesn't get, like, I guess, hit by the Hex, although the Hex was just used kind of preemptively that fight to stall.
All right.
I'd always want to see like a refresher Ags ulti on AA. I feel like that could be a lot of fun, but I don't know, fun doesn't win you games.
Yes, exactly. Fun could be interesting. Other item progressions here. Invoker, he's got 4,400 gold. Buyback will be up in 20 seconds, so it does need to be cautious of pulling up that gold here. Razor looks like his final item will be an Assault Cuirass. Interesting. No refresher. Instead, he grabs the aura item and the Shivas. A little surprised to see that.
Okay.
And looks like it will be a very fast Roche up in about 15 seconds. Invasion seem interested.
There's your halberd, so...
Finally.
Yeah, I think all BKBs... I got to imagine a 5 seconds now. I feel like I don't need to check. But no, 6 seconds on Legion. Jeez, miracle. Use your BKB more. This was his first item after the blink too, and he's only used it 4 times.
Yeah. Well, being cautious at that point now where you can start using it willy-nilly. It is interesting to see how his damage has kind of plateaued. He hasn't picked up anything in almost like, what, the last 15 minutes maybe? It's
miracle. Yeah, this has
been a long time.
As far as actual duel kills.
Yeah.
The duel, it's kind of like he's always looking for core heroes now. Like if he wanted to, he could just duel a support, get a kill, and be on his way. But that's going to lose you a team fight. Getting extra damage at this point is not the most important thing at DD range.
Double damage!
Yeah, it's
Double damage.
probably going to just expire though, unless they run right at first departure, or right at invasion, which may actually be the case.
Yeah, both teams smoked up. Roche is respawned. It's been scouted out by the Weaver. Invasion are the ones to take the high ground. And who's got the vision control? Dire have this observer down. Hasn't seen anything yet, but the smoke just about to pop. They'll see it. And FD.
Oh my god, invasion just caught unawares.
Are they really going to sneak this Roche? They have an idea. Come on, Shadow Demon, you can do it. No, LC gets the Aegis. Cheese goes to the Weaver. Now LC blinks over the tree line. Double damage soon to expire, but might be able to get a couple of licks off. Goes on to FCFC. Does not duel. Defensive disruption comes out already. Now the cavalry's arrived down bottom. Chronosphere from Hana connects on 2. Ketchuk and Ghost stuck inside. FCFC going on the Abaddon. Not the target you want, but Ghost lives to tell the tale. Now Faceless Void goes down. They find Paulus he time lapses back. They might still be able to bring him down. Now the Abaddon falls. It's a 2-0. Where's Miracle been this whole fight? He has the Aegis. Now ready to duel, gets it off on FCFC, but it's going to be a bit disastrous, perhaps. Winner goes to Miracle. Wow, he loses his Weaver, though. He'll be coming back with the Aegis, and I don't know that he'll survive this one.
Razor fires back. Okay, gets off the Ghost Scepter, still alive, and Miracle, once again, these Lincolns from Lubby helping just block a spell or two, and they're focusing Miracle. Lubby's just being ignored in this fight. He's standing in the middle of 4 heroes, still alive. Now he'll be the focus, and... Whoa. Legion has buyback though. First departure, not out of this one just yet. Razor brought back to go for the game-ending push, and it's one last hurrah for first departure.
Yeah, the mid lane of barracks have been cleaned up. Now Creep's pushing in every which way. Glyph comes out. First departure are definitely on the back foot. They have to make a stand here. Ketchuk gets 5 seconds. Pigged. Okay, they hold, but still a while before anyone else comes back up. Weaver has a buyback. What are you holding it for, Weaver? Use it. He'll get back into this game, but Miracle, it may be too late. He's already been initiated on. Ghost will lock him in place. Crimson Guard buys him some time, and Miracle falls. I'm not sure what Weaver was waiting for, but now it's just Paulson and Lubby. Make that just Paulson. Void's joining him. Chrono on 2. Hana clicking as fast as he can. Paulson on the side finds the kill on Invoker. Now they go to FCFC. Paulson will chase out Ghost.
Void's damage is just so non-existent with this Ags BKB build. He can't even do right-click FZ on the Razor. He's got way too much armor. They may push back, get a kill on the Shadow Demon, maybe push him back here, but...
Okay, they find a gem. They lose the mid lane of Rax, as we mentioned. Tier 4 tower goes down, and Cardi's sister taking out this last remaining Tier 4. So still a lot of damage for Invasion.
Rapier Weaver, let's go. Pelosi says, I'll make up for my mishap there, not buying back right away, and somehow... I had the Demon Edge for a while. I think he was going to go MKB or something, but now he's like, look, we're down 4 Raxes, let's go big.
This is the time to do it. They're in Hail Mary mode. Invoker does have a buyback. Shadow Demon does as well. So this could end up being a 5v5 if they push for it, but they've got 2 dead, and they're going to have to wait it out anyway. This will still be tough to win with a Rapier on the Weaver. Not a bad Rapier carrier, but not ideal either. Not quite on point with your gyrocopters and your Medusas.
It's still not Mega Creep. So for first departure, it's like, well, it's holdable. It's very holdable. And for Invasion, pushing high ground is not the easiest thing in the world. There's no Aegis cheese available anytime soon. And at this stage of the game, heroes just don't have room for it.
And Razor is a cheese on the Weaver, actually.
Yeah.
So he does still have that second life, kind of. Didn't use it in the last fight, unfortunately.
This is like the weird Weaver build.
Really
BKB Mjolnir, like Heart, Cheese, Gem, Divine Rapier, like this is
no boots.
Unique. Yeah. I didn't think he's had boots the entire game.
No, he's foregone boots. But yeah, definitely an interesting build. You see it getting pinged out here by one of our other observers. In case you missed it, gods, he's got a Weaver and some cheese.
Yeah. Did you know that there's enemy Abaddon has an urn, which doesn't show up because it doesn't fit. I was going to do some useless item. I was like, who's got a GG branch or something? Ancient Apparition has a TP scroll. There we go.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I would say nobody should really have a branch at this stage in the game unless things have gone horribly wrong. But wow, what an opening game to this best of 3 series. So it looked like Invasion may run away with it, but boy, is it erupted into a very intense game 1. Paulson gets scouted out on the high ground, just chips at that Centaur, and he goes, guys, that hurts. You gotta watch out for that bug. Ketchik, though, oh, he reveals himself as he pokes forward. Defensive disruption is there, though. It may cost OK his life. Void just running in circles, doesn't know where to go. Ice Blast comes in, will connect on a few, but Pipe is there. They bring down the Shadow Demon, but it'll cost them a Faceless Void. First departure with Miracle on the front lines. Now he's the one taking a lot of damage. The Hex, the Meatball, it's a dead LC. Now the aggressive disruption, a buyback from the Shadow Demon will come in handy. Ketchik ends up going down, but Legion Commander will not survive, and Paulison, Rapier will hit the deck, and that'll be GG. Who grabs the Rapier? It's still on the ground. Everyone's dropping their items. The Centaur gets it. And Miracle says, well, we've had enough.
Hey, GG out. 60 minutes plus in. What a fantastic game to get things started. First departure had their opportunities. Invasion did as well. And Invasion just that little bit better at taking them.
Yeah, absolutely. Still a good fight. Very momentum-based game. First for Invasion, then the mid-game was all about first departure. And then Miracle just kind of lost the momentum. Still couldn't find any extra duel damage and kind of fell off a little bit. Weaver made a good recovery, but in the end, just wasn't enough.
No, that's impressive that he actually made that recovery. He was in complete feed mode for the longest of times, but actually got some items, picked up some kills, and ends the game with a very awkward heart BKB Mjolnir. That's the thing, because he lost his gem, used his cheese, and lost his rapier. So his items look all over the place, but
that's Paulson's way of saying, put that in your pipe and smoke it, Dat Dota. Enjoy that one.
What is the win rate when Weaver has these 3 items at the end of the game? And well, it's a fat 0-1 now, I think.
All right. Well, we'll have a break, guys, and then Game 2 of Invasion versus First Departure right around the corner. Thank you for joining us for the Summit 2 by G2A.com SEA Playoffs. More Dota to come.